Hey, I'm Pastor Clint. I'm one of the pastors at Jackson Creek Fellowship Church. We are located at 25800 South Center Road in Monee, and our service times are at 10:30 on Sunday morning. What I really like about Jackson Creek is that our people have a heart for people. You know it the moment you walk in the door. You see it in the way people step up to serve in different aspects. They love helping other people, whether that's spiritually, physically. They love meeting the needs of other people. What's unique about us is we actually have three co-elders, co-pastors, Pastor Mike Shepard and Pastor John Young, and the three of us are actually co-equal in our responsibilities for leading the church. So we don't have really a main guy leading our ministry. And how that has set us apart, it really carries a lot of influence amongst our congregation. They see the differences that we have, the different perspectives we have, and it carries over into how we stay unified as a body of believers, because we're unified in our leadership despite our differences, and it really helps our congregation work together in unity, striving together for the gospel of Jesus Christ. For us, our mission is pretty easy to retain. We've been focusing primarily on the Great Commission, right? Just like every other church is go and make disciples. Well, how do you do that? And a couple years ago, we came up with using 5G, right? When that first came out, it was, 5G was a big thing. But the way that translates to us is we have 5Gs that define our mission and purpose. Our first one is glorifying God. And then the other Gs following that are growing together, giving, are going, and gathering. And so as we gather together, as we grow together, it causes us to grow in our love for Christ and his mission, and it causes us to give generously of our time and our resources, and we go and we share the gospel. And doing all of that, we glorify God. We really keyed in on that, and this year we're focusing on growing deeper in Christ and growing in our love for him and serving him. For us, it was still seeing the need to fulfill the Great Commission. We really still poured into outreach. We really wanted to serve our community in several ways. One thing that we did that we continue to do is our food pantry. We used to have people come inside, and it was a great time of being able to serve the community through our food pantry, but because of the pandemic, we had to leave people rolling through in their cars. Even though that was an obstacle, as in that we couldn't truly share our love and affection and care for these people, we were still able to fulfill the ministry. And that ministry has grown. We've seen a lot of families from all the surrounding communities that we serve in our food pantry. And then also with our outreach, I think some of it allowed itself for us to change gears, to think about why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so we actually scrapped traditional VBS, and that was something that we did well. Our church did VBS well, but we really weren't seeing a lot of new families. We weren't reaching the unreached. And so we switched to a sports camp model. A lot of the families in our communities are heavily involved in kids sports. And so we were like, hey, let's reach them where they're at. And we provided opportunities. We have a lot of athletes, ex-college athletes in our congregation. And so we started a sports camp ministry that has a VBS feel to it, but it revolves around developing sports skills and also reaching them with the gospel. And it's been blowing up. It's been growing every year, and we've been seeing salvations and new families reached because of it. We have what's called starting point class. Other people have different methods of assimilating. Our starting point is offered once a month. When people come and sign up for a starting point, they get to see everything that's happening at Jackson Creek. They get to see who the pastors are, our story of, how we came about as a church, and then just what the next steps are for them, whether it's getting plugged into a growth group, which, is, small group or life group, however you want to define it. One of our growth groups or a ministry you're looking to get involved in. One of the questions might be, are you interested in becoming a member? Are you interested in being baptized? We are wanting to see people get connected and intentionally moving them into discipleship. Personally, Shine.fm was there when I first accepted Christ as a teenager at 15 and was influential in my development of following Christ. So having a station consistently available that was allowing me to worship and really pour out my heart to God was influential in my development, as well as I think it is in our community and just our church in general with listening. As I mentioned before about our emphasis on discipleship, I really think that's what Shine.fm's values are as well. Stronger families, stronger communities, and that's what we do as well. Yeah, so coming up, we have a women's event and a men's event. The women's event it's called Blessed Assurance. It is just a morning and afternoon conference, a one-day deal, and that's on Saturday, March 18th at 8:30 a.m. And that's just a great time for women to get connected and to hear about the struggles of anxiety and the keys to conquering those struggles. And then for our men coming up March 24th and 25th, we're heading to Iowa for a men's retreat. And so we have that going on for the men just to get together, get away, and focus on Christ.